Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, 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 hello. You're where right now?
I'm in the bush. I'm in South Africa for my tour. So, it's one of the great things about coming home is that I don't just get to do the shows and see family and friends. I just get to take like a few days off and then go into the bush, go for a safari, and just watch elephants walking by, giraffes, the joys of coming from South Africa.
I love that. It's a place I've never been. They tell me that Australia is somewhat like there are parts of South Africa, and we have so many South Africans living obviously here in the UAE, but there's parts of South Africa that remind them of Australia. You've been to both. Is there any
Oh
similarities?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see that. Definitely, I can see that. Yeah, I think there's parts of. I've been lucky enough to go to like all of Australia. Like really, I've been like east, west, north, south, and there are definitely parts of Australia that are a little like South Africa. The one thing I'll say about South Africa is we have fewer animals and insects that'll just kill you for no reason. You guys in Australia have extreme. It's just like it'll be like it'll be like the crawling poison ladybird, and you're like, I didn't even know ladybirds could be poison, and they're like, yeah, you're dead. Welcome to Australia. So we don't have that. We don't have that. But otherwise, like the landscape can be pretty similar.
It's so true. We can't wait to get you back here. The Off the Record Tour, October 3rd, Coca-Cola Arena with Live Nation. Tickets still only a few available at Coca-ColaArena.com. Trevor Noah is back in Dubai. You said it. You haven't been back for a while. Are we ready? Are you ready to come back and enjoy what we've got here?
I'm ready. I'm ready to see. You know what I love about coming back to Dubai is it's the only place in the world I go back to where I always feel like I'm coming back to a new place altogether. Like, like when I travel to, let's say, Germany, if I go to Berlin, when I come back a few years later, I'm like, oh yeah, let me take you to all my favorite spots. If I go to New York, I'll be like, yeah, let me take you to all my favorite spots. When you go to Dubai, every time I get back, I'm like, wait, was this road here? Was this building here? Was this island here? Who's creating this place? I never know what's gonna be there. All of a sudden they'll tell me it's like a whole new area. They'll be like, oh yeah, we built a safari park. I'm like, I don't know how these people are doing it, but it's amazing. So
So
I'm excited
true.
to come back. I'm excited to come back and see what's happening this time.
I mean, been living here for 16 years. I go on holiday to like LA or back home to Australia for a month. I come back and I'm still also shocked. So it's so true what you said.
Yeah, no, it's really insane. 16 years is wild. You're in those pictures, that means, Chris. You're in those pictures. You know those pictures that you'll see at like if you're on like the Verge or whatever, you can look at the like the digital binoculars and they'll show you like how Dubai has changed. You're in all those changing pictures. I hope you know that.
I'm the old version of
There's
it.
like you all through the years.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Hey, last time I met you, we were talking about obviously your book, and there's a second book coming out called Into the Uncut Grass. It's out in October. This is fantastic. How was it going through the second journey?
It's funny. I wouldn't even call this a second book. I call this my first picture book. I've always wanted to create like an illustrated book. That's something I've always dreamed of because I love books, man. I grew up reading the likes of Roald Dahl, and I loved Dr. Seuss, and I loved all of these. These books that like would take you on an adventure into like a crazy world where you would be seeing what's being spoken about. And so, unlike a memoir, which is just words on a page and me telling my story, what's great about this was an opportunity to just play with the imagination. Create a book for younger readers to share with their parents and for parents to share with their kids. And so yeah, anything book related I love. I think books are a lot of what shaped my life, the way my brain moves, the way I think about the world. So any opportunity I have to create a book is one that I'll gladly take.
And congratulations on what's going on with Spotify. We heard you drop that sort of news a few months back. What are we expecting on Spotify with Trevor Noah?
Oh man, that's going to be fun and completely ridiculous. So here's the best way to put it. If you know me very well and you listen to my podcast, you'll be like, "Oh, that's Trevor." If you don't know me very well, as some people don't, there are moments where you'll be like, "Oh, damn, I didn't know he was like that." So like some people only know me, Chris, only know me as a stand-up comedian, right? They think that's all I do. I get on stage, I hold a microphone, I tell jokes to an audience. That's all they know me as. Some people only know me as the guy from The Daily Show. So they think I wake up, go to bed, reading a newspaper, eat, sleep, drink, politics. That's all I do as a human being. Some people only know me as the guy who orders and eats too much food when he's out with his friends. Obviously, that's a few people, but some people only know me like that. The point is, like I've been lucky enough to live a varied and multifaceted life, and so the podcast is about that. It's going to be me tackling everything, talking about every topic from what's happening in the news all the way through to pop culture, what's blowing up online, what are people talking about, going back in time, going back to stories that society has forgotten, and we're going to look back on them with a different lens. And sometimes it's just us like making jokes about something silly that we think about on the day. And the great thing is we're going to be talking to some super interesting people. So, it's like a wide range, sort of like you do, where it's like you just talk to really fascinating people from around the world. So one day I might be talking to a scientist who helped, edit the human genome. And then another day I might be talking to, one of the biggest musicians on the globe. And that's the whole point for me, is to try and keep it as varied as my tastes. I don't want to be bogged down into one particular sphere, because this is like, it's a new lease on life for me. It's something fun. It's something different. And the most important thing is you're not going to feel like it's a slog. You're just coming to hang out with me. And every week we're going to be going on a different journey.
I love that. I mean, that's what we do. I guess I do what I get to do on the radio is every day is like it's a different day. We may be talking to an astronaut. The next day we have, the world's Guinness World Record of eating hot dogs, which is actually 2 things that we've had in the last couple of weeks. So, it is that enjoyment of life, being able to do it. Is there anything that you want to do? And I think you may have your 40th coming up. Is there anything that you wanting to do before then that you haven't done? Because you've done so much. You've done everything, Trevor. You've done, honestly, just do you realize, what you've achieved at your age already is remarkable.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And you know what? It is tough. It is tough because when people go like, what do you want to do? You're not wrong. Like I was about to say, I want to drive a Formula One style car, but then I remembered I did that the last time I came to Dubai. And I'm like, So now I'm trying to think of what I haven't done that I really, 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 really want to do. Everything involving fast vehicles I've probably done. Traveling is something that I've done extensively. I have no will to go to space. Someone said that to me. They're like, why don't you go to space for your 40th? And I was like, no, it's fine. I don't want to celebrate my birthday in a way that might also be my last day. So
but I'm with you on that.
I'll figure it out.
I'm with you on that. So there is no, we're obviously Virgin Radio, which is Sir Richard Branson, and there are opportunities that we could be the first radio show up in space, right? Like that, those discussions were already happening. And I've had an email back and forth with Sir Richard Branson a few times. And I thought to myself the other day, I could message him and say, we want to do it. And if he was to say yes, I don't think I could do it. Are you along the lines where you would not do it?
Oh, well, the question I should be asking you, Chris, is why haven't you done it? Why haven't you done it?
I guess
because there's a thing deep down inside of you, Chris. There's a thing deep down inside of you that has seen space, and you've seen those space movies. You've seen George Clooney floating into the abyss.
Yeah.
You've seen asteroids smashing into satellites. Yeah, that's one thing you don't have to worry about on your radio show. Like right now, you and I, we're having this conversation. We don't have to stress about any of those things, Chris. I think deep down inside, we both know the answer.
It's so true. I think if I didn't have kids, I'd probably go, you know what, let's go and do it. But I think when you have kids, there's a change in it. I don't know what it is, but there's definitely a change for me where I'm like, nah, got this responsibility,
Well, it's not that you have kids. It's that you have kids that you enjoy, clearly. Because I think there are a lot of people who would go to space because they have kids. This tells me a lot about you as a father.
I won't keep you much longer. There are a few things, though, I want to ask you. Actually, I want you to hear. When is... Have a listen.
What it is right now. What it is right now.
When is the rap album coming out? I can see you with Busta Rhymes. I can see you're ready to go, Trevor Noah. So when is it out?
Oh man, I don't think that'll ever happen. I've never seen myself as a rapper. I don't think I'll ever see myself as a rapper. I'm just a huge fan of hip hop. So obviously, people like Busta Rhymes, people like Method Man. There's so many. I mean, you know how it is. You just grow up loving these people and what they've produced and what they've created. So no, me rapping, I'll always be the person in the crowd who knows all the words, but I don't think you'll see me on stage anytime soon.
We have a huge South African audience here in the UAE, and we also have a podcast where we get a lot of Saffers listening to us. If there was one thing from South Africa food-wise that you wish the entire world knew about. Now, I didn't know about biltong, for example, before I landed in Dubai, and I wish it was something that I discovered many, many years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, or is that the big one?
Can I tell you, man? I think of all the foods, biltong. I'll tell you why. And not jerky, by the way. A lot of people will say, "Oh, that's like jerky." It's not like jerky. If you've eaten jerky, you've probably eaten depression. That's what jerky is, right? Jerky's terrible. It's like it says it's meat, but I don't know what meat it ever was. It's full of sugar. It's full of a bunch of random chemicals. It does not taste like anything natural. It's terrible. Jerky is terrible.
Okay.
Biltong, on the other hand, is a specifically like dried South African meat that is it's basically like eating your favorite cut of steak in a format that you've never had before. It's the best meal. It's delicious. It's a snack. It's great protein. It's healthy. It's all the things. I don't understand why everyone doesn't have it everywhere in the world. But if there was one other thing I would bring from South Africa, let me think of what would it be where I go like everyone should eat it. You see, like everything else will be like too specific. Because like one of the things I think of is like chicken feet. I go like I think more people should eat chicken feet.
Wow.
But I understand people, their brains can't handle the concept of seeing the foot of the chicken. They can eat every other part, but the foot throws people off. But I think the foot's fantastic because it's great to nibble on, and then you can use the claws as toothpicks afterwards. But I mean, this is me personally, so I wouldn't give this to everyone at a meal. So I think biltong is probably the one dish. Let's get biltong going, and then we'll figure out what we do with the rest.
We'll roll it out at the Coca-Cola Arena for when you're here. Again, October 3rd, Coca-Cola Arena with Live Nation. Trevor Noah, always a pleasure, always an honor, and thank you so much, man. We'll see you in Dubai. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. I'll see you there, and I'm gonna bring you some biltong.
Bring it on.